Dr. Willie Kinyash, and today we are looking at what to consider or what to look at before you get back to that cheater. And at this point, I know it is hurting when the person you love most cheats on you. It shows betrayal, it shows disrespect, and all manner of things. And so what are some of the things you need to check it before you get back to him? The coach himself is ready for us.
And you know, we are coming from notions where forgiveness has been misrepresented, over-preached, over-emphasized, over-advocated for, at the expense of our own wellness. So I want you to make several parameters. Again, before you come to marriage, you need to have designed your life to put bare minimums, acceptables, non-acceptables, to align what works, what doesn't work for you. Mm-hmm. And I hope one of the cardinal rules of your personal constitution that you'll have promulgated during those compulsory years of singleness. Mm-hmm. Are you remembering the backdrop? Mm-hmm. You always need a compulsory, mandatory period when you are alone. Mm-hmm. During that time, you decide what kind of life you want. Mm-hmm. It is anxious. That period is usually anxious because everybody is on the rush to get into relationships. Yeah. And to seem rather unconcerned and contented when you are alone for a year and another one and another one, you look odd. Mm-hmm. You look like, have you missed anybody? Have you lacked? Can we help you?
With her?
You look grown up, you have a job. Mm-hmm. It's so terrible when I always ask women, why did you marry at 23? You know, I had graduated and I had a job. So I thought, what next? This period of being alone is so uncomfortable, so fled from, that people don't know that. We all feel it by instinct, that I've always been in a group, in a family, in a class, in a school. I have never been alone. Before I get into another group, family, institution, setting, can I stay alone and decide a few parameters of my life? During those parameters, that's when you decide what can you tolerate in marriage. Are we together?
Yeah.
That period you realize you can live alone, actually. Mm-hmm. When you stay alone, you realize it is possible.
Yes.
I can't die. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people can't walk out because they have never been out. Are we together?
Yeah.
Some people will be tortured to death because they're walking out to where? They have never been there.
You left your parents' house to this man's house.
Even as men, sometimes you find that we have been running away from ourselves so much that even if this woman begins to torture me to death, I don't know where else. I don't have another possible existence. Mm-hmm. During this period when you are alone, you set a few parameters and you actually discover that it is possible.
To live alone.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It remains like an alternative to compare what this guy is giving me. What's this girl giving me? I remember a time I could sleep.
Yes.
Until morning. I know sleeping peacefully is possible.
Yes.
Eating is possible.
Yes.
Laughing is possible.
Yes.
Watching movies is possible.
Yes.
Going to work is possible. Living a quiet life is possible.
And okay. I am not answerable to anyone.
There's a period you stay and you realize, so actually this is also a life. Huh? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you the truth. You taste the freedom of singleness, of not having to cook at a specific hour, of not having to behave a certain way. That freedom is sweet.
You decide to eat at 12 a.m.
You know,
it's up
whatever
to
you eat, whatever you watch, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You can catch up with a friend and you forget about time. Mm-hmm. And you're somewhere in town. Mm-hmm. The period of singleness is when you set bare minimums and you get a reference lifestyle, a reference life you had to compare it with what you're getting married and see whether it is still worth it. Mm-hmm. What we are discussing today, you needed to have thought about it before you come. Mm-hmm. If you don't think about it, it will catch you by surprise and you may not have the space to think clearly. Mm-hmm. In life, we always go anywhere head first. You are born in this world head first. You go into girls head first. You go into rooms head first. Head first. You go into marriage head first. You think about it, determine it, exploit, set the constitution before you get into the institution.
Wow.
You set it first. And when you set it, the explorations and the stories you hear during your single period and people who are talking and the group discussions and the theories, you need those theoretical explorations of floating. And I've heard this concept of parents say, instead of my son going out to the university and she's moving from one girl to one girl, can he just get one girl, then use condoms and da-da-da-da-da. That period of university, that period of singleness is mandatorily you're supposed to be alone. If he gets one girl, those sexual urges, he has not learned how to control them. And why is he using the girl as an object to satisfy his object? What is the girl's future, herself? What if that was your daughter? Would you want that? And another thing, when will he learn to rein in on his own feelings? And when will he learn to decide the fabric of the marriage he wants one day? When will he control his feelings and his energy and learn to tell his body to wait? You may think by telling them to get one girl, providing condoms, you have helped nothing. You have removed self-control. There's a place. How shall a young man keep his way pure? Not by getting one girl, by guiding it according to your word. Your word have I hidden in me that I may not sin. The only solution for us young men, for us young people, is to hide. Why do you need to hide it? Because the world is trying to take it away. You only hide when somebody's trying to look for it. Why do you hide it inside? Because we are being filled with other things. So you make sure what is full inside is the truth. Is the truth. That's what you walk by. It may not be perfect. It may not be easy. You grow into it. From ankle deep to knee deep to waist deep to you swim, but you don't start with swimming. You start on the shallow end. It's a struggle and it's mandatory. There's no path that is easy. Discipline is hard. Lack of discipline is harder. Because you are a victim of everything. Discipline is the only form of true self-love. It's the only form of true peace. It's the only source of tranquility. When you do not exercise control over your sexual urges, you'll be a victim of them. When they come up, you must run and satisfy them. When it clicks, what you're discussing today is a follow-up now, the step 2 of what you had lived. And whenever people try to tell me, I was asking one common sense questions to all these to keep telling me at 21, I started dating this guy, we married now. Then she describes such a horrible character. A guy describes what is going on with this girl, and he describes how it is so unbearable, painful, inconsiderate person, unstable, chaotic, wild, toxic, dishonest, selfish. And you're wondering, how did you choose a woman like that for a wife? You did not choose. You got entangled because you refused the season of self-control. You wanted somebody to be there in your life, and the entanglement carried on until it became marriage. And still here you are dragging a person who never chose with any parameters. You don't have parameters for what you needed. That's why you ended up with just anything. And when you, the kind of descriptions you are giving for a spouse, it's horrible. Not everybody is supposed to get married. Marriage is a graduation after a particular training. Right?
Wow.
My brother. I don't know why we are simplifying things that are not simple. You marry after a graduation. It's a season of self-becoming, of growing, developing value to be a husband. It's until I have learned and come up to a place where I can take care of another, be trusted with their feelings, to listen, learn to control myself, learn to suppress my feelings, learn to suppress my selfishness, learn to suppress my laziness, and go out there in the hunt, knowing I have taken on a lifelong responsibility and I can't back off.
You know, there's an era that it is only in marriage that you get married, you're given a certificate and you are told, go and learn. You must have learned to a degree by this point. Even when they graduate you with the law, they have trained you in law. But they use another language of saying, we are giving you power to read and write. But you are doing a lot of reading and writing here. Yes.
That was only to give you the power to do it now on a professional ground. The same way when you are single, you learn the rudimentaries, the basics, the theories. There are many types of marriages. There are marriages that are based on compassion and kindness. Those kind of couples invest all they have to charity, to helping, to service that is semi-charity, social work and whatever. And they feel so satisfied. They connected on compassion, kindness and service and humanitarian energy. That is what covers them. Other couples met on an energy of leadership and transformation. They are into leadership, forefront. They try politics, try becoming the other, direct, and their joint energy is that. That's their joint. Even you can sense it. When you meet them, you feel a different person. Couples have a texture. When they sit, you can see, even as they talk, you can feel the texture, where it's coming from. Some are very exploratory. They play music, they ride bikes, they fly, their energy between them is so exploratory. They tell you, we were in Senegal, we went to Canada, now we are in South Africa. The two of you, what is that kind of life? They wanted to work for 10 years, then stop working and travel the world.
Wow.
They said their plan, that's what. Marriages are so many. How did you choose yours? What inspired it? Feelings and entanglements. So I will not discuss cheating today. If you cannot tell me, first of all, why are you here? You see, cheating is a violation of boundaries. But which boundaries? Are we together? Can you say somebody crossed the fence into your home if there's no fence?
No. So you need to set up boundaries.
Where is the boundary? What did they cross? Some people had no boundary at all, just started building emotional things there, getting a child there, staying there, cohabiting there. Where are the boundaries? How will you know when you're being offended? Where are the rules? Do you know why laws are written? Because people are crazy. If you don't write it down, they will argue everything. If you read the statutes, they're very hard to read because they are written many unnecessary things. Anybody running any kind of business or enterprise, they just wanted to say you should always have a certificate.
Yeah.
You should always have a business permit. But we can't write, before you run a business, always get a business permit. If you write that, somebody will argue, what is business? What is permit? If you read a law that is just trying to say you should always have a business
permit,
it can't be one sentence. It will be anybody or any organization or any entity. Because somebody will say, I'm not somebody, it's a company running it.
Yes.
And so they try to cover all loopholes.
Yeah.
Then go to who runs any kind of business, establishment, business for profit. It's so hard to read.
Yes.
Because you are trying to close all loopholes.
Yeah.
Where are your rules? If even running a country required rules that almost sound absurd to cover loopholes, to manage the same human beings, you are marrying so blindly.
Yes.
Who is the fool here?
You.
my brother. I don't get it. I don't get it. When I went to law, I realized, why are we using absurd language? Why can't we speak normally? Because people will always try to look for escape. People always try to look for loopholes. So you must close all loopholes at the risk of sounding absurd. Laws are petty. Statutes are petty. They mention things that was that necessary? The other one here. Because people will always look for become petty with your rules. The people who know they are dealing with human beings, they are always petty. Because they know humans are petty. People are cunning. They try to get loopholes. During that season, you set rules. And one of the rules you set is, what shall you do if somebody violates your trust? Now, cheating is not just somebody went out and slept with another one, or emotional cheating, or flirting, or a kind of behavior that is just betrayal of your trust. So the following things are the consideration. The first consideration is, what are your existing understanding of marriage? What are your existing, what did you want? Why did you come here? Remember, you had a life.
Yeah.
You can have a life. Once you know you can have a life without a person, you get the power to your side. Always maintain the ability to have a life without the person. Sometimes as a woman, you may want to stay home. My wife can choose to stay home, take care of baby, child, during a season when it is very critical. I've always encouraged that the first 3 years one of you should be the child. If her job is more advantageous, I've always given you that fortunate occurrence, for example. If she was to get a very well-paying job, I will happily suspend what I'm doing
And
to babysit happily,
yes.
for her to bring in the millions.
Yes.
and we make it as a family.
Yeah.
We start now traveling. Today we are doing a show from California. You know? Listen, sometimes even if you're staying home, you should not stop your growth. The key thing is that you should be engaged with the world, current and on the move, growing as a person, capable of your survival, updated, on the run, on the go, whether you're at home or you're out. Okay?
Yeah.
Maintain your ability to engage the world and earn and work. Even when you're not working, studying something, delivering something, selling the other ones. If you keep your mind on the current and on the run, even if somebody was to back off, you pick up from where you are. You know where the world is, you know your abilities, you are aware of the opportunities. You know where to start tomorrow. Because you're always on the go. When you are engaged with the world, you are never that desperate. So the first rule is, for you, what was the idea of marriage? If you came to marriage for companionship, but to make each other's work easier, to ease each other's life, now other decisions are easy like this. Do you get it? I married so that we can make each other's life easier. So that we can raise children together perhaps, we can travel together perhaps, we can think through, we can change our community, we can develop. You have decided why. When the why is clear, the what becomes automatic. When the why I married is on my fingertips, the what kind of marriage I want becomes automatic. But many people just wanted the how it feels to be this person, the how I look to society, the how. People jumped there to the fruits before the root. The root is why. Always align the reason for what you're doing with the reason for your existence. And when it becomes noteworthy, it will be very easy. So the rule number one is how they behave when you find out. Sometimes people converse, but they try to use the converse to bargain for amnesty. I'll tell you the truth, if you've promised not to get angry.
And yet you are hurting me.
It's like saying you hit me with a stone and I promise not to bleed. The fact that you already crossed the boundaries of marriage is bad enough, and you should not be trading here with me. I deserve the information because it's me you're violating. And you're supposed to just come out clean. Be careful if somebody makes you run after the information all over. Do investigations. You already asked them, you had evidence, they denied it, they forced you to go further. If a person denies, that person is not ready to change. Even when you finally corner them and they say sorry, some people say sorry because they've been caught. That's the only thing they can say. But they're not sorry really. They're not apologetic. They're not ready to change. You cornered them, you ambushed them, you surprised them. Not all apologies are sincere. Some apologies are just instinctive. A thief was caught stealing. But they're not done stealing. They just said sorry to get away. To end this story for now. To craft another way to approach the cheating. The first thing is how they respond once you find out. You expect a sincere person to freeze, realizing how they betrayed you. They should be compassionate in their response. They should have empathy of how it is making you feel. You need to see them suffering by seeing how they have hurt you. Are we together? Really, if there's no empathy, you are with the wrong person. Let me repeat this. When you can't see empathy, feeling for how you are feeling, you are with the wrong person. Some people, when they're marrying, they believe in marriage. Somewhere along the way, they don't marriage is too confining. And they will not tell you that directly. They want to continue staying there to get the benefits while still living an unmarried life. And maybe this is a person who has taken a different path of life. By the time a person gets outside the marriage, either they don't care about you, or they think about you and they don't care, or they didn't think about you at all. Many sincere people, and we are not justifying cheating, but a person can cheat because of weakness, not wickedness. Because of carelessness. Because of human blunders. Because of being unthoughtful. Sometimes a person can slide into entanglements because they gave into feelings and did not reflect. Even when they are not mean, even when they are not selfish, they still love you. Even when they are still committed to the marriage, they can slide into error. That's the only kind of cheating that you can give a second chance. Can we take that again? Some people can cheat and hurt you badly because, not because they are wicked. Wicked means don't care.
Yeah.
But because they are weak. They behaved weak. They slept on the job. They allowed entanglements to go on.
Yeah.
They assumed they are in charge. Or they were trapped into a loop. You know, I'll tell you something and don't tell somebody. Then it started there. You know, confiding, asking for help. And please don't say. Don't tell your wife.
It's between me and you.
You know? Those things that seem innocent, they created a secrecy. The secrecy grew. It became emotional. It went all the way to cheating. What started looking controllable got out of the way.
Yeah.
That is possible for a person who is not inherently or internally uncaring.
I'm thinking, there's some of these people, they will cheat and they start blaming this other person.
This is the second category that you should not forgive. You shall not forgive a person who says it is him who trapped me. It is him who... You are grown up, you are not bound and carjacked. If you had been carjacked and made to do things with a gun on your head. But if you are lured, what does he say about sin? Comes from temptation, comes from your own desires, and when it is fully grown, brings death. It is starting from you. It is temptation. So admit. Whether the person was alluring or seductive, you had choices. What if you told me? Because one way to prevent affairs and straying is to talk things when they are young, when they are small. To talk things when they are just started and you kill it. Secrecy is what incubates cheating. When you are open, many of those things can't grow and go anywhere because the accountability blows them away. I know I'm not supposed to do that. We discussed it with you. We thought together about it.
Yeah.
When the person realizes they have hurt you, and then they build the walls of secrecy. They close their phones off, stop talking, they become shut. Even if they're saying sorry and they're building up walls of secrecy, walls, they're stonewalling you, don't waste time there. They are not sorry. And remember, sometimes after cheating has happened, you can become very paranoid yourself, very, very afraid. It's the trauma of being betrayed. You can start wanting to check the phone, to check this. The right response when you have hurt a person through cheating is to lay your life bare, to allow them to build confidence again. Become easy, let them see your life, let them access your life. That's the only way they can see that truly you are changed. And we are not ruling out the fact that some people can get complicated grief. Complicated grief is when you're supposed to, you lost something, you're supposed to go through the pain and recover, but you take too long to recover. You're taking too long to recover and you may need help, you may need treatment, you may need assistance. Sometimes a person can overstay a year, 2, 3 years, and they can no longer trust you. That's another complication that you are supposed to propose therapy. Let us go to therapy because I think you are unable to let me rest. Although this thing happened long ago, my life has been open. A year has gone, 2 years have gone, you're always paranoid, suspicious. I think you're unable to process this. I think we can benefit from therapy. Let's normalize therapy. Let's not wait for drastic things to happen, to deteriorate. We are saying this, Willie. One of the things you shall tell whether a person is in for this marriage or they just want their space to do their things is how they respond when they have hurt you. The second thing is how they help you heal, how they listen, how they empathize. You know, you'll be having a lot of questions. Am I enough? You know, you as a man, you feel for a man to come to my territory and sleep with my woman, for her to go out there, what does it say about me? Am I enough?
No.
Am I what does it say about me? She needs to be able to reassure you. It was a totally mistake on my side. You are doing a perfect job. We are growing together. You're doing it well. You satisfy me. It is me who gave in to temptations. The same way you can be eating well at home, but if you're not careful, you can find yourself biting anything out there. But does not mean the cook at home is not doing a good job. There is a place for self-control. I lost it in the place of self-control. It does not say anything. You need to hear that to rebuild your walls and your trust again. The other thing is, if you need assistance, like, there are sometimes people say, I need a time to digest. Let me go to another town. Let me go to the other side. It's not always a breakup. Sometimes they may say, just need a period of silence to process this. You can go for a retreat or something. You need to see them assisting you without blaming you. So now you're not forgiving. So now you're going. So now. You don't need to see accusation from a person who hurt you. When a person hurts you, what you want is compassion. What you want is empathy. What you want is help. What you want is truth. Now, to finish that discussion, we need to say, sometimes you can forgive and your feelings don't come back. You should wait. If you really want to give this marriage another chance and this person is genuinely on the floor, repenting and sorry and honestly at your mercies, they are sincerely surrendered. That's the only person you should be giving another chance. Sincerely surrendered, saying, I know how much I've hurt you and I can see it, and I'm so pained at how I've hurt you. And allow you to take decision. Whatever you need in order to heal. I want us to preserve our union. I want us to be together. I want us to journey together. People ask, what if they cheat when we are dating? Mm-hmm. If a person has sex with another person when you are dating, that's not now cheating.
What is that?
What does that act of sleeping with a person outside marriage tell you? They are not celibate. They don't have sexual discipline. They are not determined to wait. They are not available. If a person is sleeping with another person when you are dating, just run now. Because
run for your life.
These are different rules they are violating. Inside marriage, you can consider their attitude. Outside marriage, it means, first of all, they don't have sexual discipline. This is a thing. Before marriage, you're supposed to be waiting and controlling yourself for us to do it inside marriage. But these people themselves are already sleeping together and say, she cheated. She did not cheat. Both of you are fornicators. She just fornicated with a different person. There's no such thing as cheating when you are dating.
Yeah.
If a person is sleeping with anyone before dating, you are not supposed to marry them. They are not prepared for the challenge of marriage. Mm-hmm. They have not reached to a place of self-control. If you marry a person who has no self-control, you'll have to control them yourself. You'll have to do all the policing, the monitoring, and it's torturous. It's unmanageable. Mm. So you can forgive, but your feelings don't come back. But you should give it time and time to see their attitude. Many times, if you see a person who is genuinely trying to win you again, be right and do right, many times, if it was sincere love, it will come back. But if this is a subsequent time, there's another time, they're taking you through the trauma. We have not done enough discussion on that topic, what happens when you're cheated on. What happens psychologically. It's trauma. You lose your sense of specialness. You lose your sense of justice in the world. You feel like it doesn't pay to do right. You feel confused what works in this world. What is the idea of marriage? Was I a fool? Was I idiot? There's a lot of trauma. Yeah. There's a lady called Janice who wrote a book called After the Affair, and she was enumerating what changes and how to recover. She was saying that trauma takes time to treat. It has a lot of flashbacks, panic attacks. It can bring psychosomatic conditions like hyperacidity, can bring things like pressure, can bring... How deeply you love is how deeply you'll be hurt. Mm. You can still have a very vibrant marriage after an affair. You can still do it, but there are conditions. The condition is the cheater, the person who cheated, must be open to you now and try to win your trust with openness and empathy and support and presence. And they must themselves introspect to see what made them stray. They must check what arrangements was existing in your marriage. Sometimes the one who's being cheated on has mistakes. Mm. But because this one has been caught, cannot tell the other person, this is not to justify what I did, but sometimes I don't feel treated well in this and this respect. They should have conversations for the person to actually open up and say what you can do differently, what you can help me with, what will enhance us better. So it's to say, you only forgive a person who genuinely surrendered, not one who builds up walls, starts living very far away, locks you out. Some people are not done cheating by the time you intercept them. They behave like you're interrupting their fun. Don't run after them. If you run after the person who cheated to beg them to forgive, you'll be humiliated. Don't allow humiliation. Run in the opposite direction and seek your own healing. Let them be the one now to convince you why you should invite them to your life again. Make sure you have a life where the cheater is not a part of. Did we mention the other time that you always need a parallel life that your partner is not part of?
Yes.
You need a spiritual parallel life. Things you are learning in your spiritual closet, things you're learning in your personal development, things you're learning in your skills, and as you come to share with them, there's a resource, there are studies you are doing, reflections you are doing. You should have a parallel life that enriches you. It cannot be everything you're always with this person. That's how boredom comes. How can we rekindle the spark? What is happening? How I feel about that. You don't have a parallel personal life that is individual and internal. This is not to mean secrecy and all that, but those quiet moments where you're just studying your things, you're just reflecting on your things, that place is yours. And that's what actually enriches your stories with your partner. That's I was studying this person, I was thinking about this one I saw, that's what enriches your conversation. So it's to say, only forgive a person who is done with sinning. Some people are not done, they want to continue. Let them continue, but be away from them. Don't let anybody accuse you, so you're going to walk out of your marriage and leave it to other people. It's not me walking out, it's them who walked out.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yeah.
When people cheat, what we had is no longer here. We have to create something else. And we don't have to create if they're not back to create with me. So don't allow these false accusations. So you walked out because of cheating. I did not walk out, they walked out.
Yes.
To cheat. And we have nothing anymore. That's why I'm trying to look for in my own life. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. And the cheater must always own up the mistake and must not blame the other person. Remember, before you commit yourself into this institution, set the constitution and you will enjoy that marriage. My name is Willie Kinyash and thank you so much for joining me.